Welcome to Canterbury Japan Day 2018. Good afternoon, people in YouTube land. Well, you can tell by the madness traffic over there that people still haven't figured out where the secret parking space is. If you want to know about that secret parking space, and you also want to know about Canterbury Japan Day, then check out the older video. Click the little I button in the corner there. But this video is about how to vlog with a gimbal. Because yesterday I gave Hamish my gimbal. Oh
my god. Do what you're told. Hang on. Maybe this button? So cool. No, maybe this button.
Oh, there's a drone and somebody's illegally flying it. Look at that. Somebody's flying a DJI Spark over a crowded area on private property. Isn't that just fantastic? This is an example of an area where you may very well take a gimbal to do a vlog. You know, crowded area, whether it's a festival, you know, a rock concert, something like that, or maybe you're walking through a museum, maybe you're going to an amusement park, maybe you're walking through a park or a reserve or something. There's a lot of places where you would potentially take your gimbal, take your camera and walk and talk and vlog. And this is one of these places. There's that fucking drone again, flying above people. So one of the things about using a gimbal you need to be aware of is that you have to actually assemble the McFranken camera. You know, it's not just a camera. If you want decent audio, you've got to put a microphone on there. So you got the microphone. And you got the gimbal itself, which is made up of, you know, 3 rolling axis, plus the handle, and, you know, potentially a mini tripod on the bottom. So walking around with this thing, your arm's going to get tired if you just keep on doing it for ages and ages. Using a gimbal with a joystick is going to give you a fantastic panning ability. Now there's going to be times when you simply want to, you know, turn the camera off, turn the gimbal off and just walk from A to B, and you don't want to be lugging this thing around, so you need to know your gimbal and actually know how to carry it. How to carry it when it's turned off, not just when it's turned on. Here's an example of how you hold the feiyutech A1000 gimbal. You basically grab a couple of the axis, a couple of the motors, hold them steady, and that's going to stop the whole thing just flailing around. Now you may have noticed that I'm actually wearing a backpack, and that's very deliberate. If you're going to walk around anywhere that's, you know, not close to your home or anything like that, you really ought to carry a backpack. And I'll show you why. Sometimes you just want to put the damn thing away. This is especially useful in the event that your battery was to run out, which, you know, may happen with a gimbal one day. It's actually happened to me. You just want to be able to put the thing away. Or go minimalist and just use the camera and put the gimbal away. There's Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie.
Oh, hi. 食到個嘴角. No, thank you.
Bonnie, you're in the vlog.
Say hello.
Ni hao. God, all the food lines around here are so long. Really long food lines. So I'm filming this part with my cell phone, so you'd have to ask yourself, why do you want to use a gimbal in the first place? And, you know, the idea behind having the gimbal is so that you can have beautiful, smooth video, just like this. Look at how buttery smooth that is, you know? So nice to edit instead of shakycam. And ultimately, it's all about trade-off. If you go ahead and do this, and this is fine, you can do this. This is cool, isn't it? You having fun? But when it comes time to edit, you're dealing with shakycam. On the other hand, you carry a gimbal around, you've got this kind of unwieldy thing, but it gives you much better looking video. So I think the answer or the solution is don't use a gimbal 100% of the time. Use a gimbal 50% of the time. Do it sometimes, but not all the time.
And basically this dance is performed in various...
So you can see a mini tripod's pretty handy too. Not all gimbals have a mini tripod. This one does have a mini tripod on the bottom. And if you find something around the place that, you know, there you go. Mini tripod. Set up the camera. Oh, and in case it wasn't obvious, you know, a place like this, you've got to be really comfortable actually just talking to the camera and, like, you know, playing the part of a YouTuber, because everybody around stares at you when you've got a great big camera with a fluffy mic on top. One of the little hidden things about gimbal that people don't seem to realize when they get one is you can do fantastic hyperlapses with a gimbal, like this one. So one of the things that you can expect if you're going to walk around with a gimbal, which is, you know, what I'm using today, is that it adds, I guess you could call it, public profile. Now, you know, there's a lot of young people out there today, you know, teenagers and people in their 20s and stuff that haven't really known the world before YouTube and before the internet. You know, they didn't grow up in the 60s or 70s or 80s, and so whenever they see you walking around with a camera and that kind of thing, they have a certain perception. And I just had 3 young guys come up to me and ask me about my channel. One of them didn't leave me with a very good impression, actually. You know, I told him what the name of my channel was, and then he kind of said, "Oh, but that's not right." Just a little pro tip for you young guys. I mean, I don't mean just you young guys who approach me today, but any people in particular, that if you see a person walking around with a camera and they identify themselves as a YouTuber, like if you ask them or whatever, don't jump to any conclusions about what they're doing. Is you don't know until you find out. You know, you don't know really anything about what I do, how I do it, why I do it. And first impressions are important. You don't want to give the bad first impression. I mean, I think I'll just leave it at that. I mean, one thing I will say is that young people don't tend to watch my channel very much, so, you know, I'll definitely be very grateful if any of them do. Well, even as we're leaving, there's still heaps of people coming. So that was Canterbury Japan Day 2018, and this was how to vlog with a gimbal. So some points to sum up. You're not going to use a gimbal all the time. If you buy it and you plan on using it, you're not going to use it 100% of the time, because the fact is there's going to be times that you're going to need and you're going to want to put it down. You go to a place like this and you imagine you've got your wallet in one hand, gimbal in the other, and then you're trying to get food. You're trying to carry away food, right? At some point the camera has just got to be put away. You've got to put the thing to bed. It is what it is. It's cumbersome, it's heavy, but the payoff is you get beautiful, smooth video at the end of it. No more shaky cam. It also adds to your profile. You're going to have people approach you. I had young guys approach me today. Thanks to my lovely wife Coco for helping to make this episode. That was Canterbury Japan Day. See you in the next video.